Yes, and Happy New Year, Dave. And let's hope 2012 has been successful as the last 7 years I've been at the club. Um, it's been, an amazing 2011, full of everything, I think. I think 2011 will go down in history as the year of everything. But we're looking forward to this year.
If we can look back quickly on reflections of 2011 and what progress has been made by Truro City Football Club?
Well, we started the year, as you know. Last season we finished 11th in the league. Previous season, obviously, in the Southern Premier. And, the target was to try and be a playoff team. And obviously, we ended the season as champions. We were winning the last 7 matches. So you could say that was absolutely unbelievable, really, from where we were from the previous season. But I've always had faith in the players that we got at this club. I've always had no doubt that their ability, and it's proved it already this season, winning 9 Conference South games already.
And if you look at the league table, 10th in the table, not too far off the playoff places. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this season was always going to be a learning season, and let's make no bones about that. We are absolutely delighted to be where we are. There's an awful lot to learn about this level, and the travelling, the types of teams we play, types of players, and this is a learning season. So there's no targets this year. The target this year is to be a Southern Conference team for the next season.
And of course, for the last 12 months, what was the real highlight for you?
Well, being champions again. 5 promotions in 6 seasons. The history books belong to Truro City Football Club, and they can never take that history away from this club. And just like winning at Wembley and the lowest level club, it's as good as it gets, as they say in life.
And moving on, 2012, you already touched on it, but lots of challenges ahead. How do you see those going?
Well, obviously, there are challenges because we're in difficult financial times. I'm not immune to that, and no football club's immune to that. The first target is to get the club on a financial strong footing for the remainder of the season, and to have a budget for the following season, which is already in place before the season starts. Not relying on individuals or companies to pay us money that they owe us, for argument's sake, and they don't pay. And so one of the major hurdles will be the financial security of the club moving forward. I believe that can be achieved. There is a lot of work being done at the moment to achieve that. And obviously looking forward to Cornwall developing a stadium, which we want to be 100% part of. And hopefully the football team progressing where we can be hopefully a playoff in the following season. That would be the target, realistic target, and see where it takes us.
You mentioned the finances, and I know in the open meeting you had with the supporters a few weeks ago, there was a suggestion private investors coming in. How close are you to getting those people?
Well, I think everyone who I've spoke to looked at Truro City have just been amazed at what we've achieved in such a short period of time. Dave, you've been at this club all your life. 7 years ago, this club, was running around the pitch with holes in their socks. The club has gone from being a county team to a national team in 7 years. And when you make that kind of transition, there's obviously going to be mistakes along the way because it's so quick, so fast, so immense. And, what investors are saying, without a stadium, you can't go forward because we can't be a conference premier. So the stadium is a must for any investors. And I think, if that gets achieved, then there will be quite a few people who'd like to be part of Truro City's future and hopefully take us on to League Two, which is where we ultimately see ourselves. We see ourselves as a Torquay or a Yeovil level, and I think that's achievable.
But are you saying, though, without the stadium, it's not definite those people will be coming in?
I would say it'd be highly unlikely purely because they know we can't go forward from where we are today. And it is a problem. The club, to be a professional club, you need professional facilities, and they all come hand in hand. If other people are going to put resources into the club to take us to the next level, then what they need in return is to know that we can achieve that in this county and that the county are behind it, and that the powers that be, help us to achieve those things because, Cornwall is an amazing county. It's a wonderful place to live. in my opinion, the best place on earth to live. But it's also a county that's quite distant from the rest of the UK. So we've got advantages and disadvantages, and what we've got to do is use our advantages and a unity of people to get together behind the club to take us to professional football, just like they do in rugby. And if we achieve that, then we can have a professional football club in Cornwall. But it needs all the people to get behind that.
And people behind financially, but also people to watch. You recently cried, well, not cried out, but you wanted people to come along and watch the club, look at Truro City, what it's doing for the county. Crowds have been a little bit disappointing, I think, personally. How are you going to get more people through the turnstiles?
It's a very interesting you say it, Dave, because obviously I look up, the statistics and everything else. The official average is 620 this season, which actually puts us around about 10th in the Conference South. So there are 12 teams with less average than us at this level. So you'd have to say we're average. We are about 25% up on last season's attendances. And I think if any business increased its attendance by 25% in the last year, they would say it was a miracle, particularly in the times we're having. So I think we've got to put a lot of things into context. I think, we are at Conference South. We're not at Conference Premier, which you get a lot of very big clubs. We are in the most difficult financial times this country has ever seen. And I think if you roll that all together, still increasing intensity by 25% is still not a bad achievement. I'd like to see more, though, is the answer to your question.
And finally, 2012, we just entered it. Tell the fans what they want to hear. Firstly, are we going to be here in 2013? And secondly, what would you wish out of the next 12 months?
I've no doubt we'll be here. I don't have any doubts about that because there are things in place. The important thing for Truro City is to be sustainable, viable, to have the stadium being started to be built, to get other investors, for the club to progress on the pitch, to finish the season, hopefully a single-digit finish. I've always dreamed that we could finish in the top half this season. We're 10th at the moment. If we was to win today, we could possibly be 8th, 7th, who knows. But if we can finish mid-table, that would be a fantastic start. 7 years ago I was here, without a camera, by the way, just with a cup of tea and 90 people, and we were mid-table in step 7. 7 years later, we're mid-table in step 2, 5 levels up. So I think we've got to put that in context.
And a Happy New Year to the supporters.
And Happy New Year to all the supporters worldwide, because we get a lot of messages worldwide now. And all I can say to everyone is I'll do everything I can at all times for this club, but I need you to be part of it and to get behind the club in every way we can to achieve things. And the away support from the supporters is fantastic. We suffer with injuries at the moment, as you know. We're down to the bare bones, and it's been difficult. But look at the results. Last 4 games unbeaten. Probably should have won at least 2 of the 3 games we drew. And I'm just so proud of Lee and the players for everything they've done for this club, and the supporters as well. And let's keep it going and keep our feet on the ground at the same time. And as I've always said, we can achieve anything, and never say never.
That's a good point to end on. Thank you very much, Kevin Heaney.